Don't tear out that cat's head again, I can't stand it.
Hello and welcome once again to Monkey Madness, where I review every episode of the 60s grooviest family sitcom The Monkees in original broadcast order, before ranking them all whenever I've finished. Today I'm reviewing The Monkees Watch Their Feet. Mickey is kidnapped and gets swapped with an android by a pair of evil aliens. He looks identical to Mickey, except his feet are on backwards.
My feet aren't on backwards, yours are.
It's up to Peter and Davy to try and get him back. This episode doesn't have Mike apart from his opening appearance, which we'll get to later. And whilst I'd say that episodes always suffer when they're one monkey short, this is by far the best three-monkey episode. It's almost certainly Mickey's best performance as the confused android. He's really in his element here, although he is of course assisted by some great sound effect work. Here he is trying to trash up the world's grooviest fridge. Ooh, that's a nice moon chair. About 10% of these reviews now is me looking at nice furniture in the background of the HD remaster, and another 10% is me admiring Peter's clothes. Although it's clearly an earlier episode because they're wearing more mod clothes here. I can even see the top of the pad set. Anyway, the aliens here were played by Nita Talbot and Stuart Margolin, the latter of which would go on to play Angel in the Rockford Files. They both give great hammy performances. They really understood the assignment here. Clark Gordon is pretty good as a confused old military officer too. As always, the series was filmed out of broadcast order, and I imagine they wanted to spread out the episodes without Mike. As I've said in previous videos, I believe I'm right in thinking that this was because of an operation of his throat at the time. There is a laugh track here, which had been dropped for the past few episodes. I don't know if it's just me, but they seem to be making the laughter quieter than usual, which helps it feel marginally less out of place with the drier humour of this episode. As for the actual humour, I'd forgotten that this is one of the most political episodes of the show. This episode is presented with the framing device, introduced by Mike, of a public information film about aliens, presented by comedian Pat Paulson. His deadpan delivery of the anti-authoritarian satire is probably the best part of this episode. You could definitely tell that this was made during the Vietnam War.
They want to put the blame on teenagers. Take the war, for example. Whose fault is it? Certainly not our fault. We're not fighting. It must be those crazy kids.
It's probably what makes the episode feel shorter than usual too, although I do think it overstays its welcome slightly by the end. It's probably one of the most meta episodes as well, with clever editing of clips from previous episodes.
This poor American teenage millionaire. Vague longings awakening in his body, the long, vague awakenings of his mind.
The chase romp in the spaceship is to Star Collector, which is a song I've discussed before in this series, so I'll try and be brief. The chirpy keyboards and the futuristic synthesizer really work well in this scene. All in all, this is a surprisingly good episode. It's Mickey's performance and the political satire that really elevate it. Have you seen this episode? What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to tip me, you can buy me a coffee on Ko-Fi. Whilst you're there, you can also get a membership for bonus content, including seeing how I make videos just like this. If you want to watch me review the iconic episode where Mike plays Princess Gwen, you can watch my review of the previous episode right here. See you soon!
One of us is a robot.